I'd like to welcome everybody back to Bible study by video one more time than I think we thought we were going to have to do. Just circumstances being what they are, it looks like it's going to be another week before anyone can host it, so we're putting this one online too. I do want to give a brief shout out. Sometimes we've alluded to it. Dan Smiley has been helping me with this. I appreciate his technical handiwork on it. Basically, the videos that look completely horrible by the time they get to YouTube are the ones I do on my own, and the ones that only look semi-horrible are the ones that he shoots really good before I mangle it uploading it to YouTube. So I do want to give him some credit for that and some appreciation. I think what we're going to do today is close out the text on Isaiah 40. Hopefully in person we'll do one overview week to wrap up the entire thing. That'd be a really neat thing I think to do to finish it up, so hopefully we can do that. If we want to start with a word of prayer, then we'll go on through this. Lord God, we just give you once again our thanks, our praise that you are who you are, that you love us, that you have gone to such great lengths to both save us and to reveal yourself to us, that we would know that you did that, to draw us to you. Ask as we study your word, continue to open our minds and hearts to it, that we would learn it, that we would know it, that we would understand it, that we would know you better, be drawn closer to you, be drawn closer to each other, and this would all be to your glory, through the Spirit, in the name of the Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. So we're going to look at today, I think we're going Isaiah 25 through 31. And I was actually going to take it in two segments because there's probably at least two subsections you could make this. To go through it in the time we're going to, I think we're going to look at verses 25 and 26, and then we're going to run 27 through the end of the chapter. So I'm going to talk about both of them, and then we'll maybe allude to the overview next week as well. So we've looked at the awesome power of God as we've worked our way through this chapter. How he is Lord over creation, how he is Lord over the physical realm that we see, how he is Lord over the people in it at all stations of life, great and small, and that he is the one who is over all of nature and all the elements of nature. And as we wind down, we're going to take a look now at Isaiah 40, 25, and 26, where we read, "To whom will you compare me, or who is my equal, says the Holy One? Lift up your eyes and look to the heavens. Who created all these? He who brings out the starry host one by one and calls forth each of them by name. Because of his great power and mighty strength, not one of them is missing." I want to look at this. There's a couple of ways that we can see this. And I think in our modern age, we look at the vastness of the universe and we know how, we hear things that have come into us from satellite imagery, particularly from the Hubble, and now we've got a new telescope up there that sees even farther. And we realize when we look at like some of what's sometimes called the deep field image, just how vast it is out there. And you look at some of those images and you realize that the things in it are not stars, they're galaxies. Just the absolute vastness of creation. Couldn't even be seen from the earth. And we jump right to that that's the starry host. And he knows each one of them. He created every star in that he calls them out by one, knows them by name. I actually think that's true. But it's really also not what I think Isaiah meant when he was writing. Also, you look back at the ancient world in Isaiah's time. We're talking about 700 years before Christ. You look at what astronomy was back then, and in large cases, even into pretty close to the modern era, astronomy and astrology have been tied together. And one of the things we have to remember is a lot of those ancient cultures worship the stars, worship the constellations. We look at the zodiac and what people do with that, even in astrology today. And one of the things that Isaiah is addressing here, when you look to the heavens, and there were people that have been bowing down to the heavens, bowing down to that creation and worshiping it, and Isaiah is telling you that's not where the power is. The power is in the God who made this. When you look up and you see your idol in the sky, that's no different than the idol made of wood that we talked about earlier in the chapter. You know better. Instead of worshiping that which was created, worship the Creator, the one who brings out the starry host one by one, calls each of them forth by name. I'm going to move on from this to another passage, and before we finish it out, we've also been going through Isaiah 55 in the Sunday school class. There's a couple verses from that I wanted to bring up because I think it has bearing on this last bit of Isaiah 40. You know, same prophet, similar themes. Who thunk it? Take a quick look at Isaiah 55, 8 through 11, and then we're going to go to Isaiah 40, 27 to 31. But in Isaiah 55, 8 through 11, and this came out of a chapter. In fact, it was really this segment of the chapter was one of the first times when probably I was in maybe my mid to late 20s, I started realizing just how much the love of God is portrayed in the Old Testament, and how much He loves us, and that we can see that in the Old Testament. And Isaiah 55, and in part this passage is one of the ones that started to speak that to me, just of his greatness, how much He loves us, because His ways, His purposes was to save us. In Isaiah 55, 8 through 11, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. As the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth, making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater, so is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but will accomplish what I desire and achieve the purpose for which I sent it." And as we think about that what God has spoken, what God has purposed, He will bring to pass. And look back now at what the prophet wrote 15 chapters earlier in Isaiah 40 and realize that these really do go together. That the idea that what God has spoken, He means His purpose will be true. And we realize that in Isaiah, the early chapters of Isaiah are devoted to the fact that Israel is about to be disciplined. They're about to be overrun. They're about to be rebuked. A foreign power is going to conquer them and take them away. Isaiah 40 is not just the trial of the false gods. Isaiah 40 is where the tone changes, and we talk about the redemptive love of God. And this, in the end of chapter 40, wraps out the part of that is in Isaiah 40 that opens up with God saying, you know, at the beginning of the chapter, He said that Israel's suffering is done, her service paid for. God is coming to redeem her. And so He asks here in Isaiah 40:27, continuing through 31, "Why do you complain, Jacob? Why do you say, Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord? My cause is disregarded by my God. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and His understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." To come back to this, why do you complain, O Jacob? Say, O Israel, my way is hidden from the Lord. When we say my way is hidden from the Lord, it's not just our path. It's not just our purpose. There's, when I look in some of the study materials for this, I see my way is hidden from the Lord. It's talking about my way of life, my condition, the status that I am in. This is written to people that are either in oppression, in captivity, or they're going to be headed to captivity. And this is where they can draw their hope. I'm in captivity. I'm one of the lowlifes. I have no chance. Does God even know I'm here? Yes, He does. And His purpose is to save. You say, I have no hope. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God. You follow down through the passage. Youths grow tired and weary. young men stumble and fall. We rely on our own strength. We're going to do it ourselves. We're going to go our own way. We're not going to make it, especially if the world is against us. When it says those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. This was another one from the notes. You know, we think about that replenishment, that ability to refresh ourselves. It actually can be understood in the sense of it's an exchange. I give up my strength and swallow my pride. And in exchange, I get strength supplied by God. Those are the ones who will soar on wings like eagles, run and not grow weary, walk and not be faint. And it's the Lord's doing, according to his purpose, which he has revealed to us in his word, and the call that he has put out for us to respond to as we live our lives and tell others about him, grow in fellowship both with him and with each other. I'm going to wrap that up here for this week. Hopefully, is it good?
Yes, it is.
It's good? We can tell them we're done now?
Yep.
Okay. You remember I gave the quick shout out at the beginning to Dan. Well, one of the quirks with Dan's camera, which while it is much better than mine, it stops filming at about 12 minutes. So is what it is. I still greatly appreciate the help, but we have to re-end the ending of this thing. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing us all in person. I'm going to leave it here for now. Hopefully we can maybe do an overview of the entire chapter in person when we get together again. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Take care and God bless you.